except this and this. So based on these verses and this tradition of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then the dress code has been discussed by the scholars that there are points that has to be met in order for the dress code to be an Islamic dress code. And this is either men or women. If it is a man, they say that you have to cover your body, especially from your navel to the knee. But this is the minimum. But of course, you just cannot, cover your body as a man from here to here and then you walk in the street.
No,
this is only the minimum that will allow, you see.
Something is wrong with
yes,
these
are insane. So this is the minimum that will allow you to pray. But when it comes to the ethical aspect of it, definitely as a man also you have to dress properly, because otherwise you are not honorable yourself. But then especially women, because of their bodies are different. The way that Allah created them is very different. So I think we will open now the line for
a very good introduction. For the viewers, if they have any question, they can call.
Yes, they will call.
The numbers are 4373910, 4375905. Meanwhile, you can just
yes. Now looking in these two verses, the two verses that we have mentioned, and also the hadith that has been quoted. Yes, assalamu alaikum.
There's a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, so Islamic dress. Sometimes they call it hijab. Sometimes they call it niqab. Sometimes they call it yes.
There's another caller.
Sometimes they call it niqab. Sometimes they call it khimar. Sometimes they call it hijab. The word hijab also occurs in the Holy Quran. Hijab, and the term comes in the Holy Quran about 7 times. But normally the term hijab is not very much indicative of the way that the woman dresses. It's talking about curtain, it's talking about any kind of hindrance between men and women, that moral barrier. It occurs in the Quran where Allah is asking, for example, the Sahaba to make sure that before they talk to the wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they cannot talk to them directly. There must be, for example, there must be a barrier. إِلَّا مِنْ وَرَاءِ hijab. So hijab in that sense is a curtain, or at least a barrier that is between men and women, to make sure that at least their contact is very much lessened. Now when you read these two verses and also the hadith, the scholars have come up with a number of points that if you fulfill them, then you are dressing properly as a Muslim woman. If you don't fulfill them, then there is something wrong.
Something wrong. Yeah.
I do, sometimes you can see women, even now they are trying, but they think that hijab or proper dress is just to put a piece of cloth on your head and then go away. So that they will put a piece of cloth and then they expose everything here.
Exactly.
Or they put a piece of cloth and then put a very tight jean.
That's right.
Put a very tight jean and then just put a piece here, and then that is not. You see them walking, and they think that they are doing it. That's not the way. There are a number of points that have to be met, fulfilled if the Islamic dress code is to be fulfilled. That is number one. They say, based on these verses and based on the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, number one, the dress must be long. You cannot put a short dress. A short dress that will expose any part of your body, that is not an Islamic dress. Then the dress must be long. It must be a long dress. Number one, that is number one. Number two, it must be thick, meaning it should not be see-through. Because you can have a long dress that covers from your head down to the toe, but then people see from a distance, they can see everything. So that is why when a woman, especially also a man, they want to dress, they make sure that it covers their body, their bodies, and at the same time, the dress is also not see-through. Then it is long, it is also thick, meaning it covers. Thirdly, it should be loose. It should not be tight. It should not be tight. You can have a long dress and a thick dress, but it is tight.
Yeah,
when it is tight, it also exposes parts that are very attractive, parts that provoke men or women, and that are things that will, in the long run, will, attract you and then invite you. Because there are women who walk outside of the street as if they are inviting men. Because if you are disciplined in your early age, if you have a daughter in the early age and you train her in dressing properly, you will discover that after how many months, after how many years, if anything is, yes, assalamu alaikum, it seems that there is a question. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so we are saying that it must be, the dress must be long, the dress must be thick, meaning it's not see-through, the dress also must be loose, the dress also must be comfortable. There are people who put hijab, but not in a comfortable manner. The moment they look at that, then this part is out. Yeah. The moment they look at this side, the other part is also out. Sometimes even when they pray, when they want to pray and they make prostration, and they make sujood or they make ruku', then because it's not covering them, it has to be covered comfortably, so much so that you can move this way and nothing comes out. You can also move that way and nothing comes out. So the comfort of the dress, not just to be long, not just to be thick, not just to be loose, but also it should be comfortable. It should allow you it should be flexible. It allow you to act. It allows you to move. It allows you to act actively, and it also doesn't expose anything. Sometimes you see women praying, and it is not flexible. Assalamu alaikum.
There's a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. And it is, yes. Thank you very much. Okay,
bye.
Thank you. Now, you can see that women praying, and they don't put a loose jilbab. They don't put a loose veil. And when they go down, then their bodies are exposed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It seems that there is another call. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Can you
reduce
your TV set a little bit, please? Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Jamarek.
Seen programme bi baax na trop.
Waa jërëjëf.
ñu ngi kontaan ñu na déglu.
Jërëjëf. Fan nga koole?
maa ngi koole Latrikunda. waa Alaaji Yoro Njaay.
Okay. Njaay.
yaa ngi toog ak sa borom bi foofu.
Déedéet, man maay boromam.
surtout da ngaa toog ak tukulóor yi ñoo la moom.
Déedéet, man maa leen moom moo tax may leen dee ca indi leen.
ñoo ko moom de.
ñoo ko moom de ñoo la dee jàngal.
ñoo ko moom de.
maa leen moom.
ñoo ko moom kay.
Joolaaye poli maa leen moom de.
docteur maa ngi ndokkale docteur Aboubacar Senghor.
Yes.
maa ngi ko ndokkale ci place am bi bu baax a baax.
wallaay ndeysaan.
te dama ko doon bàyyi xel ci programme bi.
jërëjëf.
séeréer la ñaaw waaye ku taxawul islam bi la.
wallahi.
séeréer yi dañ yàgg
taxawaayam dëgg na trop.
wallahi.
yàlla mooy jàppale yàlla na ko yàlla jàppale.
amiin.
yàlla dimbale ko.
amiin.
barkeel liggéeyam.
amiin.
jubale ko ak borom réew mi.
amiin.
yàlla musal ko ci kata ak kasaara.
amiin ya rabbal alamin.
yàlla barkeel liggéey bi yëpp.
amiin.
Aïssatou Faye sa taxawaay rafet na de.
jërëjëf Ndiaye.
téere nga jaawoo waaye alhamdulilah.
Ndiaye yaa ngi
laa bëggee ñu ngi laa sant yàlla.
amiin.
jërëjëf amiin.
lii la tuubal mokk na trop.
déedéet ñun ñoo leen tuubal. xam nga Ndiaye bi yëpp sa séeréer lañ dañu rëcc rek dem si poli Ndiaye kañ moom cosaanam séeréer la.
xam naa ne doo ko nangu.
Ndiaye cosaanam séeréer la.
séeréer yi ak joolaay yëpp tukulóor yi ñoo leen tuubal.
déedéet ñoo leen tuubal Ndiaye ni dañu rëcc séeréer lañ. jërëjëf Ndiaye.
jërëjëf waay.
Thank you so much.
So we are saying that it has been this segmented. When you look at the Quran and then the verses that we have just quoted and the hadith, of course, scholars have gone into